My name's Peter Hewitt. I'm a horticulturist here in Cape Town. I'm 42 years old. I'm a paraplegic, as you can see. I've been in the wheelchair for 12 years. I've been using cannabis since I was 9 years old. Right? Obviously nowadays I believe that I've been self-medicating myself all that time, because without cannabis life becomes more difficult, I think.
Yeah.
So it's something that's always been in my life in various forms. I don't think that it'll ever not be in my life. Right, I broke my back in a skydiving accident 12 years ago at Hewitt in Pretoria. I had just had a bad landing. I made a mistake. Basically, I had just come out of a 10-year crack addiction, and I started skydiving to cure myself of that, which it did quite well. But after jump number 21, I made a stupid mistake under my canopy, and I just landed really, really badly, broke my back. Basically, it was 12 years ago. I went back to skydiving a year later. I became the first paraplegic skydiver in the world. I'm now one of only 3 active paraplegic skydivers in the world. I've taken a hiatus for about a year now. I had also quite a bad accident a year ago at Hewitt again. My parachute tried to kill me. But I've kind of healed from that now.
Yeah.
So I'll probably start jumping again soon. I was never addicted to anything else except for crack. So when I came out of that, I had no interest in getting involved with any other drugs or anything like that. I just knew I needed to stay away from that. And cannabis was great. It helped me a lot. It keeps you calm, kept me calm. If I ever got cravings and I wanted to go and do something stupid, cannabis would help me get out of that mindset. So it's never been a negative, gotta have it kind of drug for me. It's always been something that I use to stop me from doing other things which are destructive.
Yeah.
I don't crave it if I don't have it, but when I do have it, I'm happy and I'm content. So I don't feel like having a drink, I don't feel like smoking anything else. So, you know, for me, I would classify that as both medicinal as well, because it helps me to not do other things which are destructive to me. And that's unfortunately a part of my makeup. You know, I threw 10 years of my life away on something which was stupid and pointless. And cannabis actually helped me come out of that. The skydiving helped a lot, but I started smoking on a more regular basis, and just on a spiritual level, it cured me. You know, it started to teach me about organic life. You know, your body can heal itself through plant.
It's therapeutic.
It's absolutely therapeutic. I suffer from a rare pain disorder, which is a neuropathic pain disorder. All right, so when I broke my back, my spine is still my lower body is still trying to send signals up to my brain. Obviously, where the spine is severed, the signal can't get through. So I suffer from extreme pain, and I've got the worst form of this kind of pain. So I usually have to use quite a high opium or opiate-based painkiller. So the cannabis I found, usually when we always used to say cannabis is great for pain relief, and it is. When you smoke it, just a normal joint, it's great, it dulls the pain a little bit. But when I started using concentrates, I realized that it's not an anecdotal thing anymore. It actually works for pain in an amazing way. So to such an extent that if I'm using my vaporizer, I may forget to take my painkillers for the whole day. I'll get to 9 o'clock at night and realize, oh gee, I haven't taken any of those painkillers at all. So from a pain relief aspect, it helps me enormously. But also when I am taking normal painkiller or opiate-based painkillers, it affects your appetite, it affects your sleeping patterns, and cannabis helps to negate all of those side effects as well. So not only does it work synergistically with painkillers or with the medications that I take, but it helps me to not to have to take those things so much as well.
Yeah.
I've never had a negative reaction to my cannabis use. In fact, the last time I was in hospital, I was using my little Dr. Dabber pen in the hospital bed, and the doctor even asked me, what are you vaping over there? And I said, it's cannabis oil. He said, great, no problem.
That's awesome.
So I'd actually been through quite a bad episode where they had me on 3 different kinds of antibiotics, and my body did not respond well to it. So I was actually bringing up blood. It was a really bad scene. The medication they were giving me was not helping me at all. So I literally had a night of hell. until I took out the Dr. Dabber and I started using it, and I immediately slept. I immediately felt relief. So, you know, I'm way past the stage where I think cannabis is a good medicine. I know it's a good medicine. It works. It's actually makes my life more bearable.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm a happy guy. I love life. I wake up, I'm happy to do my job. I'm great. But if I didn't have cannabis, I'm sorry to say that my life would not be as happy.
Yeah.
You know, because I would be in pain all the time, both physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
Because cannabis helps to solve a lot of that emotional baggage that you might be carrying as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've dealt with all of that kind of thing, but you carry it with you all the time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Being in a wheelchair is not easy, but it makes it easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it has a myriad of different positive effects.
Yeah.
Look, I've been looking for alternatives to my pain relief for years, all the time. So I accidentally happened onto different websites where they were talking about dabbing, and you know, this was a totally new thing. It looked pretty hardcore to me at first, you know, blow torches and this kind of thing. So I didn't really want to even look at that because it was a little bit too close to the history, you know.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, I was at his house and he had a dab rig there, and he said, "Hey, dude, it's not the devil. We're just vaporizing the concentrate. That's all, you know. So it's not a terrible thing." So I gave it a try, and I literally took my pain away immediately. You know, immediately. I've never had that before. Painkillers don't even work that way. Yeah. So it opened my eyes, and then immediately I did my research. I looked into it. I started just wanting to know exactly how does it work, what do you need to do to make it, because it's expensive as well, so it's not really something that you can do recreationally. I don't think right now it's not accessible that way, but for me on a medicinal level it saves me money on other medications, so it's actually quite cost effective. Look, I think that the stigma is lifting a lot, so I don't think people are as anti-cannabis as they used to be. I mean, even my family, who used to be very anti, they realize now that it's not a degenerative drug that destroys. You know, my mother wouldn't even know if I have been using the product. You know, so and that was something that she was always saying. But then you're stoned all the time, but you can't even tell when I'm stoned. So what difference does it make?
Exactly.
You know, so I think the stigma is lifting. It's not that terrible a thing anymore. People are aware of the medical aspects and benefits of it. So I would say to anybody who's scared of coming out is just come out. You know, live in the light. You are not doing anything wrong. You know, and it won't be a very long time before it'll be a non-issue. You know, I think that we've all been vindicated. I've been using cannabis since I was 9 years old against everybody's wishes, and I suffered because of it, and a lot of my life took different paths because of it, but I knew that it was something that I needed in my life, and I'll fight for it. I will always fight for it. I've got a big business here that I run. I'm busy all the time. I skydive. You know, I wouldn't think that I'm unproductive. You know, I was the first paraplegic skydiver in the world, and cannabis is what helped me achieve all of that. Yeah. So there's no way that you can say that it's a demotivator in any way. Really.
Yeah. If anything, the opposite.
Absolutely. I don't know. I just think that we all need to stand together, and even those people that don't use cannabis need to start at least doing your research, because the proof is undeniable now. So anybody who's against it is a fool, and they're making a fool of themselves. So they really need to do the research and look into it and see where things are going. Yeah. We have made a revolution, and it's changing things. Yeah. You know, and people need to get with the program. Otherwise, it's just we're going to go right over them. Unfortunately, you know, you're going to be left behind. You know, even my mother is a case in point, which she was always against cannabis, and now that she has health issues, she's all for it. You know, she's bring on the oil. You know, so it's only when you really need it that it now starts to become, all right, maybe it's not the devil because it actually works.
Yeah,
you know?
Correct.
So, you know, I just think we should all just stand together and keep going the way that we're going. I think we have actually done it almost, so we must just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.